Oh, look, here I am on there by myself. Chat. Yeah.
Where's your paper?
It's over here. I don't know where I want it.
Where's your markers?
They're over. I got 4 of them over here.
Can't you take a picture of a background and just have it behind you somehow?
Yeah, somehow. Oh, there. Looks pretty good.
I sent Ryan a text and I said, it looks like you're trying to block everybody out of your driveway with your kickboard. He goes, you're the second person that said that. I said, we should Flapjacks, they have that drive-through window on that one side.
Yeah, do they use it?
They ordered it. They opened it, and so you can order and get stuff there.
Testing requirements very importantly.
What is my Zoom meeting for this? Nine three four 505 343. Okay. Hey, Rick. I'm not muted. No. Hello. No, I'm not muted. Welcome, Tyler. You guys are getting lucky seeing behind the scenes. It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Sorry, I'm just sending somebody who wanted to know the number to join the Zoom. There. Hey, Rhonda. Hello. You guys are all muted. I believe you can unmute yourself when you come on, so we'll give it a couple minutes. I just have 27 after, so I appreciate y'all being early. I wouldn't expect anything less from this crowd. Rick, did you fall asleep? Just kidding. You're
No, I'm texting somebody.
all right.
So I'm multitasking while we're waiting. My head was down, sorry.
You're good. You're good. Rhonda, looks like you're actually in the Brownsburg Chamber of Commerce office today.
I am. This was probably the last day I'm going to be in here.
Wow. Thanks for being there. Thanks for being here today too. Appreciate it.
I'm excited.
Me too. I felt like I had to do something. So here it is. We'll see how it goes.
There you go. And this is my first Zoom.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're a little bit behind over here in some of the technology, and I have been cramming this week like crazy.
That's all right. If I can help or be a resource, just ask. I'll be more than happy to help any way I can. So,
Okay.
because one thing's for sure, we're all of a sudden all of us in the same boat, right?
We sure are. I don't know. Your kids are still at home right?
Yeah. Libby's a senior and John's a junior. And so, so Libby's a senior with, what about prom? What about graduation?
Yeah. And all my kids are growing up going, we all work remotely. You should be doing that too.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah. We'll give it a couple minutes. I've got 29 after, looks like. Hi, Lisa. Hey, wait, you're unmuted. There you go. I unmuted you. So just be warned, Rhonda and Lisa, you're unmuted. So don't cuss or make any weird noises.
Okay, promise.
Okay, good.
Wait,
I'm
maybe
not going to promise.
Yeah, I should know better, right?
That's right. You should.
Awesome.
So, Jack, you look awfully fancy with that microphone.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm apologizing for a bed that I stripped this morning. That's right behind me. So don't judge.
We can't see it. It looks like you're in a nice, dark, comfortable room. It's all good.
I'm in the basement.
Cool. I think I'm gonna record this. So let me slip over here and make sure I can turn my recording on. Let me figure out how to do that real quick here. There's got to be a way to do that. Oh, looks like we are recording. Good. Okay, good. Kath, if you'll watch my phone in case somebody texts in trying to get lost or something. Keep me from being distracted by that. And I can't tell. Oh, look, there's everybody here. Cool. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Jack.
Welcome. I just unmuted you.
Yes, good to be with you this morning.
Yeah, thanks. So you all are, there's a whole bunch of you here. I couldn't see you all there. And now as I click through here, there's there's a whole bunch of people. I'm starting to get nervous. But you're all on, most everybody's on mute. You're welcome to unmute yourself. I want this to be kind of interaction, just to talk this through a little bit. Rhonda Wiles, the executive director of the Brownsburg Chamber of Commerce, and I were just chatting that, one thing's for sure is we're all in the same boat. And when all this stuff started happening last week, my first instinct was to feel sorry for myself, and my second instinct was to say, just get some people together. How can we do that? And so that's what we're doing here. So I want you to watch this, or let's experience this together from a couple different angles. One is, let's learn. Certainly, let's share. If we have ideas, let's share. The second thing I want you to do is to share it with other people. I'll have a recording, because like I said, we're all in the same boat together. So look at it as a student going through here, and then look at it also as how can you be a resource to everybody that's on the call. So it's looks like it's past the time, so we'll get started. Surviving social distancing. I came up with that because, quite frankly, it pissed me off when I first heard it. And if I can get the thing to play, maybe I can't. So we're all learning here. How do we get that to go? What's the next screen? Oh, I know why it's not working, because I'm at the end of the slideshow. That's why it's not working. Let's start over. There. Okay. So I'll introduce myself in a second. But one thing you need to know is this is a no coronavirus allowed on this webinar. So you guys, it's safe. It's clean. We've been sanitized through the internet. So we're all good there. The social distancing, I saw this infographic, thought that's pretty cool. It's kind of like what we're trying to get to is the bottom one is to be one person not having that much contact with other people. But I also know that if we don't have contact with other people, it's not good for us health-wise, depression-wise, and everything else. Okay, so here's, hang on, somebody's trying to get in. I can't believe that somebody's trying to get in. So let me give this to Kath. Hang on one second. So this is fluid. This is just, this is what happens. Life happens. And then you put that number there. So you type that in and then that number. So it's HTTPS and then a colon. So, all right. So, yeah. So then that's what happens. And then, so just who I am, I'm Jack Kleinmeyer. I'm a dad, a husband, soon to be grandfather. New news there for some of you. Melissa called us last night, and my oldest daughter, I'm going to have a baby in August. And that's pretty cool. I'm an executive director on the John Maxwell team. I'm certified in DISC and neurolinguistics. And that's my handsome picture right there, taken by the Carl Ulrichs. But this is kind of, when we think about having a team meeting or a meeting of our peers back at work, it's kind of becoming a vague memory, right? Because it's been a week, it's going to be a couple more weeks, maybe, who knows how long. And so it's starting to fade out a little bit of what are those actually like? So how can we get in place? How can we do something that's like that? That's connect. How can we connect? So I want you to think about individual fears. We all have fears. And so there's the DISC style. I like the DISC because it's easy. But if you think about it, the D's, the dominant, they're extroverted, they're facts, detail focused, well, facts, bottom line focused. And so their fear is losing control or being taken advantage of. So you might have people that you interact with every day that is a D, and so you need to know that they're gonna react as if you're trying to take away their control or that you're taking advantage of them. And you need to reassure them that that's just not the case, right? And then the I is the extroverted people person, and their fear is that they're not being accepted or appreciated. So in this time of social distancing, people become isolated. They become individual little islands. And so what happens is that they'll easily feel like they're not appreciated or not accepted. The S, loss of security. The S is the introverted relationship person. My slides are going bonkers. And so their fear is loss of security. So right now, the majority of the world are the S types. They're the reserved type people that are team builders. They're the listeners. And so the loss of security. So that's where a lot of angst and anxiety comes from. And then the C, that's the introverted analytical person. And their fear is being criticized, either personally or professionally. And so that's just kind of, you think about that, we all have these fears, but you can boil them down to see who's the person I'm talking to, how are they reacting? And that'll kind of help you understand what style they might be. And in knowing their style, you can learn how to adapt with them. It's all about making connection. So you need to be aware of these three thieves. And I'm going to share a bunch of resources with you on our little time together here today. But the mind wandering, thinking about what could happen, what might happen instead of what is happening. Negative thinking, feeling as if everything could go wrong. Right now that's easy for people to do. It's certainly easy because there's all kinds of conflicting reports. And then uncertain anxiety, the fear of the unknown. So if you think about the time we're in right now, these three, we've probably all experienced one or more of these in the last week. And so you just need to be aware of that. I think if a theme is about today, our time together, it's about awareness. It's about just being aware of your feelings and how you're feeling, how you're acting, and to get connected as much as you can. But don't worry, it's going to be okay. I saw this picture of this little baby lamb, and I thought, you know what? It's okay. It's going to be okay. Just chill. It's going to be okay. It really is. We will adapt. We will make this happen. It's okay. There's a great book that would be a great resource for you. It's called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. It's by John Maxwell. And the ability to identify with people and relate to them in a way that increases your influence with them. That's what it's all about. So today, I'm just being real. This isn't rehearsed. I mean, I planned it. I thought it through, but I don't know what's going to happen on this webinar. I don't know how you'll respond. I don't know how I'll respond. This is just to share some thoughts, some ideas. More importantly, just to connect. That's what the whole purpose of this is today. Rockefeller said he'll pay more for people that are able to communicate than anything else. And so it's that important. And in this time of social distancing, how can you connect, right? How can you stay connected? Here's just some pictures of some of the screenshots of some webinars I had this week. And I just want to point this out. Those of you that are on video, you can see yourself on video. Notice how you're coming across. That's me with the hat on because it was St. Patty's Day. But are you able to see? Are you seeing your whole face, or are you just seeing the top part of your head? I had a webinar or a Zoom call with somebody the other day, and all I saw was this the whole time. And if you think about connecting, that's not connecting. It's not. So think about, what do you need to change in your environment? Where do you need to put a light? We'll talk about that. The Harvard Business Review says the #1 criteria for advancement and promotion is for, the ability to communicate effectively, and it's all about connection. And I think this is a great quote. The #1 error in communication is the illusion that it took place. So when you think about communicating, only 7% are the words that we use. The rest is body language. So how are you coming across? It's body language and tone. And we'll talk about that a little bit, but from the Moravian studies in the 1950s, 55% of the message sent is visual. So that's why it's super important to think about, what's my background look like? What can you see my face? Is it dark? Is it light? What's that look like? And then 38% is about tone. And if my speakers aren't working, if my microphone's not working, that's a huge piece of the message. You may have really valuable content, but if you're not connecting, if you're not getting that message out, then it's not helping you in any way, right? It's just not. And so there's in the book, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect, John Maxwell talks about there's 4 unpardonable sins. One is unprepared, being unprepared. The second one is being uncommitted. The third is being uninteresting. And so if you think about that as it relates to like today, how do you be more prepared? How can you be prepared for other things? How can you be committed? Reignite. I told somebody this morning they wanted to talk today. I said, I can talk after 4 o'clock because I'm reigniting my business. I'm online all day today. I've got little things planned because I want to try to figure out ways to connect better with people. I want to try to figure out ways that I can bring whatever resources I have, but also what I enjoy doing most is connecting resources. And so I want to be interesting, and that's how I dress, how I act, and then being uncomfortable. And so without practicing this, then we can seem uncomfortable. And that's going to come across to our audience, which will take away our credibility. It'll take away the quality of what we're saying. So here's some thoughts. When you're doing a video, don't be driving, right? It'll look like a crime scene investigation, one of those shows. So don't be driving if you can keep from it. Dress. It's important to always be dressed when you're on video, but especially dress for success. Showing up to a meeting like this is just like I was standing in front of a corporate presentation, right? Now, I don't have a sport coat on today, so I'm a little bit less formal, but I'm not, I'm here to represent my brand. I'm here to represent value. And so how I dress matters, because everybody, they judge. Should they judge? No, but they judge. Eyes through the camera. So if you look at me right now, and you can see my eyes looks like I'm looking at you in the face. And so my camera is put right in front of my screen. This morning I was on a Zoom call, and somebody had their screen over here and their camera was here. And so they were talking like this the whole time. Well, that's not connection. It's not connection. Sometimes it's you see the wrong part of the body. That's just not connection. Lighting. We talked about lighting. We talked about sound. How can you enhance your sound? I got, somebody commented on my golden microphone, but it was on eBay. I mean, it was $29 or something on eBay. So it's not like I spent $1 million to get a microphone. I just felt it was important to have a microphone. What's the background look like? We talked about that again. What is the background distracting? Is it pleasing? If everybody's on mute and you can see them, you don't have to unmute yourself to say yes or no, just a thumbs up or a thumbs down. When you take a poll, what do you guys think? Yes, no, yes, no. What do you think? You can do that. And then here's the truth of the whole thing. Nobody cares. Let home be home. We're all in this together. The kids are going to come in. Libby just walked in and needed my wife for something. The dog's going to bark. The doorbell's going to ring. Stuff's going to happen, right? So just relax. Let it happen. Don't freak out about it. We can't control it when we have those interruptions because we're all working from home. The one common denominator that we all have is, folks, we're all in this together. And most of you are working from home. And if you're not, you soon will be probably. So we're all in this together. We have that in common. And so let home be home. It's okay. It's not a sin if an interruption happens, or a dog barks, or a cat jumps up on the table. That's not a sin. It's just going to happen. Right? Just laugh about it and go on. So nobody really cares, because they realize we're all in this same boat. We're all here together. So one of the things that Gerald Ford said, if he could go back to college, I guess if he'd come back from the dead and then go back to college, he'd work on two things. One is he'd be a better writer and a better speaker. And I think that's important. It's all about communication, right? The written word and the spoken word. It's all about those. So let me just share some resources. And I'll make this PowerPoint available I'll send this out, a link to this PowerPoint. I'll print out a PDF of it. But here's some resources for you to think about. Zoom.us. There's a free account you can get. I think you can have up to 14 people maybe on a free account. It's not that expensive to have a year subscription to Zoom. This is a Zoom call we're on now. Use Loom. Loom.com is a video sending platform. You go to useloom.com, you type in the person you want to send to, their email address, and then you just do a little video, welcome, hello, how are you doing? And then you can send that. You can send it to one, or you can send it, I don't know what the limit is to that. That's a free service. BombBomb.com is a email subscription service that you can get, that you can send a video out to your whole list. And if you don't have a list, you might think about, how do I start to build a list? So BombBomb.com is a great resource. I think it's $19 a month or something. CoVideo is another one like BombBomb. They're similar. I think CoVideo actually started in Indianapolis. Facebook.com, John Maxwell. John Maxwell team is going to be starting on Sunday. John's going to be having a whole video series, Leading Through Crisis. So as leaders, you might want to watch that. It's free. It's totally free. No obligation, no email capture or anything. You just click on Facebook and it's going to be there. Tom Richardson and I, each month on the first Tuesday, we do a monthly webinar we call Leadership Insights. And here's the replay page. Usually we have people that subscribe to that, go to that, but I'm just giving you the replay page. myleadershipinsights-replay.com. And there's, I don't know, maybe 18 or 19 different monthly webinars that we've done that are out there. We've gone through the 21 laws of leadership and some other things. Coming up in April, we'll be doing on creative thinking, which certainly you need some creative thinking in these times. If you go to gybcoaching.com/tough-times, that's where a lot of that information on the John Maxwell trainings is going to be. And if you go there, there's a podcast you can listen to from John Maxwell. There's on leading through the coronavirus situation. ETIND.com is strategic partner. You can go there, and they have all kinds of free training on Microsoft Office apps and different apps. They also have subscription plans you can purchase. So here's just some resources. So use these resources to connect. Use these resources to reach out to whoever it is, family, friends, whatever. Like, I guess you could use Facebook Lives. You could use FaceTime if you're on an Apple device. Any of those things you could use to connect with people that you love and people that are on your team. This is just the thing about leading through crisis. And again, gybcoaching.com/tough-times will get you links to everything you need to know about that. That's all there. I wanted to let you know that I'm here for you. That's my cell phone number. You're welcome to text me or call me. I may not answer right away. I'll answer as fast as I can. That's my email address. I'm slower on responding to that, but I will respond. But I want to be there for you. I want to be there as a resource because it's lonely, guys. I mean, we're home with our family, which is awesome, but also we're missing our work family. We're missing the people that we're connected to. Yesterday, Rhonda would have had Wednesday, Rhonda would have had a chamber meeting that would have had a couple of hundred people there. My friend Mindy down in Mooresville, last night was the Mooresville Chamber dinner, which would have had 300 or 400 people there. That had to be postponed or canceled. And so we're missing that connection. So if there's some way I can connect to you, some way I can help you, if you just need somebody to talk to, reach out. I'll be there for you. I'll respond as fast as I possibly can. I would suggest you text first. Tell me who you are when you text, so I kind of know what's going on, and let me know, and just let me know how I can serve you, how I can help you. 4 steps to become a better communicator: have great information. The minister Gary Vaynerchuk, which if you know him, he's not a minister at all, but he says just document the journey. So we're all going through this right now. We're all going through this isolation period. So great information is, how are you dealing with it? How are you connecting? How are you helping other people? Share that information. Opportunity to experiment, huge. That's what I'm doing here. When all this started happening, I'm like, oh gosh, all my corporate trainings were canceled. My speaking engagements were canceled. Okay, that's income for me. And so it's like, I could panic, I could sink into a hole and cry. But instead I'm thinking, I got to do something. So I set this up. I set another one up next week on how to fill your funnel if you're in sales or small business, just to try to get some connection out there. Great feedback, get feedback from everywhere you can, get feedback, and then model excellence. This whole conversation here certainly isn't excellence, but I want you to look at, I'm connecting, I did something. So it doesn't have to be perfect. This is far from perfect, but it's something. It's a connection. It's a way to get out there. And the whole point, my goal here is to create that conversational intimacy. I'm just telling you how I see it, how it is for me. And in that transparency, I'll either connect or I won't. And if I don't, that's okay. You'll find somebody else. But the whole point is, how can we connect in a better way? And especially in these times when churches aren't meeting, synagogues aren't meeting, temples aren't meeting, how do we connect, right? And so think about it. Think about what can you do? So I just want to open it up there and just have a little bit of a conversation about what are some things that you can do? What are some ways that you can, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen here so I can come back to you guys somehow. Stop share. Yeah, so I'll put this on. So there's 31 of us on the call here. You're welcome to use the chat box, or you're welcome to unmute yourself, and let's just talk about what are some things you can do to help with your customers, to help with your family, to help with your the people that are close to you. Thoughts on that? Be sure to click the unmute button. You'll find it on the lower left-hand corner of your screen. If you're on video, if you're not on video, let me know and I'll unmute you. If I unmuted everybody, we'd hear all kinds of background noise, and that's okay, but we don't need to hear all that stuff. So thoughts, anyone? Or if I can see you, raise your hand and I'll call on you. But what are some things we can do? Okay, Rhonda, I'll go to you, then Tommy, I'll come to you. So Rhonda, you're unmuted.
Okay. This morning I was going through my list of restaurants because Visit Hendricks County has come up with a page to share with the community of what's going on at your restaurant. Like, are they doing special hours? Are they doing carry out? Are they doing drive-through? And so I was just reaching out who was already on there. And then I went through our list of members. I sent them all out emails this morning.
Great.
And then I went through the different restaurants in Brownsburg that maybe aren't members,
Right.
but still need that information, shared that information with them.
And that's awesome. That's so cool. They're not even members and you still reached out to them. That's really cool, because what that shows is who you really are. I mean, knowing you, that's who you are, right? Tommy, you had a comment. Thoughts?
A couple of things there. I think take sessions like this and others that you've heard that are of value to specific clients you have, maybe tailor it to what their needs are, and then send them a link and refer them to that so that they can get that specific learning from someone else as well as yourself. But really you're showing an interest in them and their specific need that they have. Maybe it's something, and a lot of certainly the information we hear now is about the chaos that we're in and the times that we're in, but how can you send somebody maybe it's one thing out of that email that you have or the session you send it that will help other people.
Right.
So there's a lot out there. Help your people focus on what's important to them, and then send them a link and say, I want to make you aware of this.
Yeah. My email address is .com, not .om. It's not a voltage thing. So sorry, that was a typo. Amanda says, good info. Can you email me the PowerPoint? Yes, I will. I sure will. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Yeah, Lisa, hang on, let me unmute you. Yeah, go ahead, Lisa. Wait. Well, for some reason, there you go. Got you now. All right, now I got you. Go.
So I have listened to a couple of webinars in the last couple of days around some similar conversation. You know, how do we approach this from a business owner? How do we deal with our clients? Things like that. And one of them had just some really great information. One piece that I took specifically from it was to just let your clients know you're here for them.
Mm-hmm.
And really that's pretty much it. Don't lead into it saying assumptions like, I know you're dealing with blah, 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 because we really don't. Right. Some people handle crisis well. Some people don't. Just say, I'm here. And that way they feel like you're thinking about them. You have them top of mind. And so the communication though that this gal recommended was, don't do it in a mass email, do it one-on-one so that they really feel like you care about them. And so then the very next day after I listened to that, a friend of mine and fellow business owner sends me an email and says, I'm only sharing this with you because I just want you, even though I know you're not this way and you won't respond to your clients this way, I want to show you how some people are handling this and know that clients are getting upset by some of these communications. And this email was sent by MailChimp to all of their clients. And it listed assumptions like, I know you're feeling this way. I know you're dealing with this, but know that we're here for you. But they didn't really approach it in that one-on-one setting, number one. And number two, it was kind of hair on fire. Like as you got through the deep paragraphs of the email, you could tell that this business owner was having a hard time with it themselves. They jumped to a lot of conclusions and it rubbed the client the wrong way. And that client sent that email to the gal that forwarded it to me, who's a fellow business owner. And people are being rubbed the wrong way by the way they have been communicated to. So I just share that to say, what you're saying is absolutely right. And if there ever was a time that we need to think about relationship first, it's right now.
Yeah. And that, that's why, yes, I captured your emails because I wanted to share with you the PowerPoint afterwards and just and other things, other resources that I come across, if that's okay. If it's not, somebody shoot me an email and tell me that, don't ever talk to me again. And don't worry, I won't. But it's just to be here to help. Just because I know what we need, I believe, this is my hallucination of what reality is right now, is that we need community. We need to help each other, because there are some people that are hurting. There are some people that are scared. There are some people that are like, it's no big deal. I still get paid. It's okay, right? They're all different places. But one thing we all need is community, because nobody's navigated this before, ever. And so the only thing we can do is figure out, how do we help each other as business owners, as people? How do we connect and help each other through this? So in your jobs and your work, you're probably working from home. You have a team. Now's the time to let that team know you're there for them. There, 3 things that they want to know is, do you care about me? Can you help me? And the last one is, can I trust you? And without communication, they're going to start jumping to their own conclusions. And the conclusions they'll jump to probably aren't good conclusions. Yeah, go ahead, Lisa. Oh, wait, did you mute yourself again? Hang on. There you go.
Yeah. My dog's in my lap. I never know when she's going to bark.
It's okay. She barks.
Yeah. So, oh shoot, I forgot what I was going to say.
I'll leave you unmuted. So if you think about it, come back. It's okay. All right.
I lost it.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Back.
Jim. Hey, Jim.
How are you, sir?
Good. Good to see you again, sir.
Good to see you too. It's only been about an hour, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So this is the time, I think you hit it on the head with community. This is a time for us to be unselfish in lots of ways. When we're looking at people buying up toilet paper, for God's sake.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You can't even buy a roll because people are hoarding it. They're thinking about themselves. So
right.
We've got to get over that, thinking about ourselves and thinking what we can do for not just our clients, for our neighbors, for our friends, for whatever. And that's where I think we need to be these days. This is unprecedented, definitely. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Well, no, I think that's good. And I think one of the things I admire most about you, Jim, is that's who you are naturally. I mean, that's, if you look back at the organizations we've been in together,
Kitty's on their head.
Yeah, it is. It's who you are. It's just who you are, but this time, I think right now more than any other time, it's time to step it up a notch, right? And just to call a neighbor and say, are you okay? Do you need anything? Can I do anything for you? We had a person that works with Kathy call last night and said, do you guys have a thermometer? Somebody at my husband's work had the coronavirus, and now my husband's got a thermometer. So I said, well, put it out in the mailbox. Don't but they put it outside and they talk through the door, but it's like, we still were able to help that person, right? We gave away our thermometer so that she could check and see what's going on. And that's just not to brag, just an idea of just how can you help? How can you be there for somebody?
Yeah, and I think a lot of us are very blessed with what we have and what we've been given and in our businesses, and there are a lot less fortunate people that are going to be hurting. And we're here to help those people that are hurting, just for the fact that we are blessed.
Yep. Yeah. Amen to that. Yep. Anybody else? Crystal, do you want to say something? I saw you came on. Okay, go ahead.
What it was.
Go ahead.
So, and I was looking to see when I shared it. It's been about a week or so, but actually it was probably a couple weeks ago because it was before we all were quarantined. So I think it was kind of funny, but a friend of mine wrote an article. I want to say it was like 5 or 6 years ago, and I reshared it on LinkedIn recently, but it was called "There Are Cupcakes in the Break Room." And she wrote this article based on her experience as a remote worker for an organization that had a lot of remote employees, but they also had a pretty substantial office population. And so every time there was food left over in the break room, and all employee email would go out, and she'd be like, what about me?
What about me? Right. Yeah.
So, and the article is great. But what I find interesting now is that we're all learning how to navigate from home. And I have a group of young ladies that I mentor, and we had a conversation this morning, and the one gal who works for Lessonly said, what's cool is that our CEO is now saying, we know you have stuff at home. We know you're juggling multiple things and kids and learning how to do this from home if you've not done it before and all that. And he said, and I love seeing your kids in your lap when you're on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Because that's life. That's how life has gone for us now.
Yep.
So there's that. And then it's also given us such an opportunity to learn new things and learn how to do technology. Another friend of mine and I have a women's ministry. We did a Zoom call the other night and learned how to share it live on Facebook at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
was
You can
great.
do that with Zoom. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
no, that's great. Yeah, that's good. I'm putting another resource in the, just in a text to all you guys, and I'll also share this on the resources. But there's a company called, and I assume they're still doing this with the recent changes, but it's called Eat Engage. Eat, the letter N, and Engage. And what you can do for your clients, if you want to, let's say you want to do a lunch and learn for them, you can actually connect them through Eat Engage. Eat Engage will send them a menu, and they can choose from a couple different restaurants, and the Eat Engage will deliver food to that place, to that business that you're going to be talking to. And so you can do a lunch and learn for people, and there's like 4 different restaurants, I think. And now there's a fee for it, there's a cost for it, but imagine if you're going to buy lunch for somebody that's at a remote location, that's usually pretty hard to do. But if it's somebody you want to do that with, or an important client, that Eat Engage might be a good solution for you. Just to, of course, you could always call whatever the normal ones are. I've never used them, but well, I have used it once. But just Eat Engage might be a good one. So, any other resources? Any other thoughts from anybody as we're talking here today? Anything else? So if I can't see you, shoot me a, because it looks like we're all there. So I just wanted to come on, just share some thoughts, share some ideas, share some resources. I'm here for you. If I can help in any way, I will send you a copy of my PowerPoints with all the resources on them, and I'll correct my email address. But I'll put that on there for you, and I'll make that available. But think about too, when you're connecting with people, we have right now, some people sent me some text. They had to leave for another webinar on legislation. Some HR folks did. There's 27 people on here right now. And of the 27, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Ball State math would be about a third, maybe, or not quite, have video. And so if you're going to do this, try to use, that's somebody's phone. They just unmuted themselves. That's cool. Use video as much as you can. Connect, but when you use video, make sure your eyes go through the camera, not looking at the screen, so that you're not connecting with people. Because when you see me now, it should look that I'm looking at you right square in the eye, and that just helps me connect with you better as the presenter on this end. So just some thoughts to think about. I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to connect to you, or just be there for you, be a sounding board, whatever the case might be. So with that, I'll send you a link to the recording, and I appreciate everybody being here and taking time out of your schedule. Now back to the regularly scheduled program, whatever it might be for you. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks. See you all. Thank you.